Let's forget all the hype for just a minute. What does it actually look like when an AI builds a real working application from the ground up? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the step-by-step journey of an AI on a mission.
This is the big question, isn't it? Can an AI really go beyond just spitting out little snippets of code? Can it actually architect, build, debug, and test a whole piece of software? Let's find out.
All right, so let's meet our main character, a highly specialized AI assistant. Now, this is not your average chatbot. Think of it more like a seasoned expert developer, just waiting to be given its big assignment. See, this AI operates under a super strict set of rules, almost like a constitution. It's not some rogue agent just making things up. It's a disciplined engineer, and its #1 job is to follow the user's instructions to the absolute letter. That document is its source of truth.
And here is that mission. Build a complete, full-stack web application. That means everything, okay? From all the complex logic humming away on a server to the actual buttons you see and click on your screen. This is definitely not some simple Hello World project.
So just like any good human architect, the AI starts by laying out a really comprehensive technical plan. It maps out the whole shebang, the back end, the front end, the database, and crucially, how all of it is going to stay secure.
And here's a really important rule. The AI can't just get creative and start adding cool features that weren't in the original plan. No, it has to stick to the blueprint. This rule makes sure it builds exactly what was asked for, nothing more and nothing less.
So the AI gets to work. Code is being generated, all the pieces are starting to come together, and then, bam, a total critical failure. This is that moment that every single developer, whether they're human or AI, absolutely dreads.
A 404 not found error. I mean, we've all seen this message before, right? But in this context, this one simple message means something is fundamentally, deeply broken. The application is completely unusable.
So what does that actually mean for the app? Well, imagine the front door to your house is locked and nobody has the key, not even the person who built the house. That's what's happening here. The part that lets users sign up and log in is completely busted. The whole project is just stuck.
Okay, so this is the AI's first big test. It can't just throw up its hands and quit. It has to put on its detective hat, right? It's time to go on a bug hunt and figure out what in the world is going on.
And after digging around, the AI finds not one, but 3 root causes. First, the way the front end was talking to the back end was just flaky. Second, their communication paths were all mixed up, like they were speaking different languages. And third, if something went wrong, the whole system would just crash instead of handling it nicely.
This brings us to the AI's really clever solution. It decided to implement something called an API proxy. The best way to think about it is like a smart, super reliable receptionist. The app gives its message to the receptionist, and that receptionist knows exactly where it needs to go in the back end and how to make sure it gets there safely.
So with this new receptionist put in place, the AI basically tore out the old broken communication highway and built a brand new one that's way more robust and reliable.
Let's actually see what that looks like. So before, a request from your browser had to go down this shaky, unreliable path. It was like a bumpy dirt road full of potholes that, more often than not, just led to a dead end, that 404 error.
And here is the after. Now, that same request goes straight to our trusty API proxy, that receptionist we talked about. It's like a smooth, freshly paved superhighway straight to the back end. And the result? Success. The error is totally gone.
But just fixing the bug is only half the battle. Now the AI has to prove that the fix actually works and that it didn't accidentally break something else. It's time for the final exam, a massive gauntlet of tests.
And the AI doesn't just run 1 or 2 little checks. No, it generates a huge suite of 126 automated tests. These are designed to poke and prod every single corner of the application to make sure it's functional, secure, and reliable.
So, how'd it do? Well, an overall pass rate of 75%, which, hey, that's not bad at all. The back end was super solid at 84%. The front end, well, it showed there's maybe a little more work to do. But in all of these numbers, there is one that matters more than all the others combined.
This one right here, a perfect 100% score on every single data isolation and security test. For an app that's going to handle user data, this is the #1 most important metric.
And that 100% is absolutely everything.
It proves that the most critical security rule was met. One user can never, ever, under any circumstances, see or touch another user's private data. That is the bedrock of trust for any application, and the AI totally nailed it.
And just like that, the quest is complete. The AI started with a blueprint, it built an application, it hit a major crisis, it debugged the problem, and in the end, it proved its solution was both working and totally secure.
I mean, the final test summary really says it all. The application is officially production ready. It went from just a plan on paper to a fully tested piece of software.
So we've just walked through a real example of an AI building a pretty complex app, warts and all. And I think that's the real takeaway here. It wasn't magic, it was a rigorous process of engineering, problem solving, and testing, the same things human developers do. Which of course brings us all the way back to that big question. Is this the future of how all of our software is going to get made?